Minister.
And we've got an absolutely beautiful sky across the area, some warm temperatures as the warming trend continues. How long will it last? That answer coming up.
Also, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We'll tell you about some of the resources that are available.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Developing news out of the United Kingdom today. A day after vowing to stay in power, the British Prime Minister Liz Truss has resigned. This is KOM News at noon. I am Amber Jenkins. Her tumultuous 6-week term in office was marked by policies that rocked the financial markets and led to outrage among lawmakers, including those within her party. Ian Lee reports from London.
Given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party.
Britain's Prime Minister Liz Truss, who took over from Boris Johnson in early September, announced she is leaving, and in doing so becomes the shortest-serving Prime Minister in British history.
I have spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
She will be remembered as the last Prime Minister to ever meet the Queen, but the Conservative leader will also be remembered for a massively criticized budget of tax and spending cuts that spooked the markets and sent the pound plunging, forcing Truss to fire her finance minister and reverse those cuts.
What a mess. And this is not just a soap opera at the top of the Tory party. It's doing huge damage to our economy and to the reputation of our country.
Truss apologized, but it wasn't enough, with polls showing she had a 10% approval rating.
It makes you wonder whether they should vote Conservative again. But I'm delighted to hear that she's finally gone.
Truss said the Conservative Party will hold a leadership election within the next week and that she will remain in office until a successor is chosen. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
The White House said the United States will continue its close relationship with Britain and the next British Prime Minister. A judge sentences a Joplin man to prison for arson. Ronald Deloney pled guilty to second-degree arson. Authorities say last November, Deloney lit a piece of paper on fire and threw it near a house on West 3rd Street in Joplin, setting it on fire. Deloney is sentenced to 5 years in prison and 5 years of supervised probation. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The Pittsburgh Safe House Crisis Center has a 24-hour hotline for calls and text messages. According to the Safe House Crisis Center, 1 of the 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Domestic violence can be a mental, physical, verbal, or even sexual.
A lot of times they'll say, like, I would have much rather had the black eye or the cut on my face than continuously hearing the words or the names I was called or the put downs because they just, stay in here for so long.
If you need to speak with someone or you want more information, you can visit our website at komnewsnow.com. Coming up later in the show, our very own Carrie Wharton takes us to the Safe House Crisis Center in Pittsburgh for a closer look at the story.
We've had an absolutely wonderful day across the area, very spring-like, and we were talking about this morning where we're today the most normal day we've had so far in October. Our high very close to what we should be and our low spot on in the city of Joplin. So not bad. And we are also upwards of 20 degrees warmer now than what we were 24 hours ago, and that trend will continue upward as temperatures continue to rise. We've got 60 48 Center, 63 Chanute, 63 in Pittsburgh, 63 Neosho, and 64 in Joplin right now, which again at 7th and Range Line, an absolutely beautiful shot. No wind chill, no heat index, and just that light west-southwest breeze, so bringing in more warm air. And you can see we'll still reach up there this afternoon, and then we'll start to taper off, but slowly, which means we're not going to get too cool tonight. We're also still dealing with the drought situation, which again, exceptional is as high as it goes, and that encompasses a significant portion of the area. And as that gets bigger, so does the extreme and severe drought that surrounds that. And we have rain on the way, but like we've been seeing, and we've had rain. It's just not enough. It is going to take an extended period of rain to knock the drought down. We're still looking at a high of about 71 degrees. We'll have some increasing clouds later today as we head into the evening. Otherwise, not too bad, 58 by 8 o'clock tonight. We'll take a look at the full forecast, how long the warm temperatures hang out, and about these rain chances here in a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. Students seeking jobs and internships turned out for the Pitt State Fall Career Fair. The fair was open to all students from all majors and classifications. It provides students a chance to network with employers and learn more about the opportunities available in their fields of interest. The fair targets learning opportunities from summer employment at camps to internships and full-time professional positions.
So mostly we want students to be able to learn how to network, to talk with employers, to build that networking opportunities for themselves. We want them to be able to learn that a resume is important and whenever you're connecting with these employers.
Hundreds of people attended the fair. The Parsons Historical Museum holds a unique and a fundraiser called A Night at the Museum. With a limited budget each year, the Parsons Historical Museum needs to raise money aside from taking donations. This year, they decided to go with the spirit of Halloween and do a unique fundraiser with a local psychic medium. Not only will she do readings for people at the event, but she'll also tell personal stories and have conversations with those that attend the event.
But this was a way for us to get people in the doors and raise funds for the museum. We have a lot of ideas and a very small budget, so being able to have an event every year like this and hopefully have it be a great big success for us.
The fundraiser event is happening on October 22nd from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., but has limited seating, so tickets must be bought in advance. Coming up, battles intensify for the control of certain regions in Ukraine. We'll have the latest. And later, Howard shows us how to make chocolate dessert lasagna in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The battle for control of the southern and eastern Ukraine is intensifying. Ukraine army is moving to cut off the Russian forces in the city of Kherson, hoping to build on other successes on the battlefield. Russian President Vladimir Putin has now declared martial law in 4 provinces that are illegally annexed earlier this month. Holly Williams is in Kyiv, Ukraine's capital.
In Kherson, one of the regions occupied by Russia, the authorities installed by Moscow have started moving tens of thousands of people away from the front line, ahead of an expected Ukrainian counter-offensive. As Russian troops battle to hold on to land they've seized, the mood on Russian state TV seems close to despair. Don't expect any good news in the next 2 months, says this correspondent. The anchorwoman asks why Russia thought President Volodymyr Zelensky would run away and NATO wouldn't help. She doesn't say it, but those are really questions for Vladimir Putin, the man who started this war. President Biden said yesterday the Russian leader's in a, quote, incredibly difficult position.
It seems his only tool available to him is to brutalize individual citizens.
He's doing that with swarms of so-called suicide drones targeting Ukraine's cities and attacks on the power grid as a harsh winter looms. But Ukrainians, as always, have responded with stunning resilience. Kyiv's subway has served as a bomb shelter for civilians during Russian attacks. But this morning, we found it packed with busy commuters, apparently determined to live their lives as normal in the face of a vicious invasion.
But I think we'll go through it and we will win soon. We believe in it.
And also surrendering is not in our DNA.
Andrei Zagorodnyuk is Ukraine's former Minister of Defense.
These so-called suicide drones, they seem like a very conscious attempt to terrorize the civilian population. Yeah. Is it going to work?
Very simple answer, no. Yes, they will damage some infrastructure, that's for sure. Are they going to terrorize civilians, which are then change their mind about the course of the war? Absolutely not.
Power outages of up to 4 hours are expected across Ukraine today. The national energy company has urged people to ensure that they have warm socks, blankets, and hugs from family and friends. Holly Williams, CBS News, Kyiv.
Still to come on KOM News at noon. Mr. Food.
What if I told you that we were making lasagna without using any of the typical ingredients? Well, we are, and boy, is it tasty.
But first, Chris Warner returns with the complete forecast.
We've got a pretty decent day lined up for us today, and the warming trend is going to continue across the area, but then there's some rain, and then there's another cool down on the way. So we got a lot to talk about, and we're going to talk about all of that in the next approximately 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So right now at 7th and Rangeline, we have got a clear sky. It looks absolutely gorgeous out there, and the temperatures match. We've got 64 in Joplin, clear skies, with the west-southwest breeze at about 10 miles an hour. Temperatures across the area also looking really good at the noon hour. 64 Yates Center, 63 Chanute, 63 Pittsburgh and Lamar, 64 in Carthage, and 63 in Monette. Now we have some bad news for allergy sufferers though, because the pollen counts, we've been doing pretty good the last several days, but they're starting to go back up again. We got a 2.7 out of 12 for today. Jumps up to a 4.2 out of 12 tomorrow. Still not terrible, but by Monday, we're looking at that reaching as high as an 8 out of 12 on the pollen count. So if you do suffer from allergies, be prepared for an increase because it's on its way. And the other thing increasing, by the way, is our temperature. So as we go through the rest of today, we're going to hit a high of 71. We'll have some increasing clouds later. So right now we're clear, but a little bit later today in the evening, we'll see some partly cloudy skies. Nothing too bad. And 71 is right about where we should be for this time of year. 47 is spot on with what our normal overnight low is. This is the first time in a while that we've been normal around the area. 53 at 11, 51 by 2, and of course our overnight low of 47 degrees overnight tonight under partly cloudy skies. Now the weekend, it's never too early to plan for the weekend, right? Okay, we've got some folks here, but they're very quiet. But it's okay. It's never too early to plan for the weekend, right? Yeah. All right, see, the weekend is always a good time. And we've got a good forecast for you. Despite this little rain picture, don't let that worry you. We got mostly cloudy skies Saturday and Sunday, 80 Saturday, 83 on Sunday, and we may see an isolated stray shower storm later in the day on Sunday, mostly on the Missouri side. You know what? We can show you that with the magic of the future track. Going through the rest of the week, we continue our warm-up. As we head into Sunday, again, maybe a spotty shower or two. Most of us are going to stay dry. And as we go into Monday, we're watching a storm system that wants to bring us a fair amount of shower and thunderstorm activity, and we've seen some of this model data change. We'll keep an eye on it, but Monday for sure, some shower and thunderstorm activity, and then possibly again as we head into Friday. And the other thing that the cold front tomorrow will do, not tomorrow, tomorrow's not Monday. No, it's not Monday. Tomorrow's Friday. Okay, good. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. The cold front on Monday is going to bring temperatures back down. So in order to stay ahead of all of this, if you've got weekend plans or if you're outdoors, you're away from your TV at any time, scan that QR code, or you can go to your favorite app store and search for KOAM Skywatch Weather and download the KOAM Skywatch Weather app. It's got the latest forecast, radar data, alerts, everything you need to know. So when you're not in front of your TV, you can have the entire Skywatch Weather team with you everywhere you go. Let's take a look at the 7 day, shall we? 80 degrees tomorrow, so not bad. We get through the weekend. Again, maybe a late day stray shower storm. Better chances of showers and thunderstorms on Monday, and then you see we start a cool down, and we settle into the lower to mid 60s as we head into next week. And look at those overnight lows. We go to near 70 by Saturday night, and then back down to 36 by Wednesday night. So the roller coaster of temperatures that we've been on the last few days is not quite over yet. Fall trying to settle in, just hasn't really figured out how to stay yet. So enjoy the brief warm-up, because then we'll cool right back down again.
I know I've been spending all summer saying I want colder weather, but now that it's here, I'm like,
Well, see, I think what happened is we complained too much to Mother Nature, and she said, fine, cold weather, okay, and then threw winter at us. And we're like, whoa, that's not exactly the cold weather we were talking about. So she said, fine. And now here's the lower 80s again.
I say I can't be satisfied, I guess.
I think she's just upset with us because we can't make up our minds.
Well, thank you, Chris. We'll take this time to honor today's 4th state hero, Corporal William Woods of Nevada, Missouri. Woods served in the Army from 1942 to 1944 in Italy. Woods was also awarded 2 Bronze Stars for his service. To Corporal William Woods, we thank you, our 4th state hero. Who can resist a bite into these tasty layers of creamy chocolate? Howard has more on how to make the perfect dessert lasagna in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
You know, it's hard to think of lasagna without thinking about how all those layers of goodness create one incredible dish. Well, today, we're creating a to-die-for dessert which uses the same layer after layer concept, and the results are nothing short of amazing. The first thing we do is mix some crushed chocolate sandwich cookies with butter and press them into the bottom of a baking dish. While that chills, we beat together some cream cheese with vanilla and powdered sugar until it's smooth. Then we fold in some whipped topping. This goes over the cookie crumb crust. See, it's sort of like building a lasagna. A layer of chocolate pudding goes over that, and back into the fridge it goes. The whole thing gets finished with whipped topping, and after it's chilled, we sprinkle each piece with some mini chocolate chips. All it takes is one forkful, and you'll know why we fell in love with this. I mean, what's not to love about all the layers of goodness? The recipe for what we call our chocolate dessert lasagna is ready and waiting for you on our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a layer after layer way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. I have all of it.
You can find this recipe along with a lot of more good food from Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. You can just go to our website at koamnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
We've got some very special guests with us from Liberal, Missouri. They are joining us here in the studio and in our control room. It's a little darker in there, but they're there. They're waving. Welcome to our studio. I hope you've had a great time with us for our noon show today. And you came on a perfect day. 71 degrees is our high. 80 tomorrow and Saturday. Maybe some late day showers Sunday and more storm chances as we head into Monday.
I don't know if they were expecting to be on TV, but that's cool,
I don't know that they were either, but hey, I mean, if they're
studio
coming,
audience.
they might as well be, right?
I agree.
It's a party in this studio.
It always is. You don't know what's coming up at 5? I'm going to tell you. Following Hurricane Ian, a dangerous microbe, sometimes known as a flesh-eating bacteria, is causing a spike in infections in Florida. In Health Watch, we're going to take a look at the danger and what to look out for. Plus, the Ottawa County Sheriff sits down with KOAM to talk about the inmates who escaped earlier this month and the steps taken to ensure that does not happen again. And the Missouri Department of Transportation holds its annual Operation Snow Drill across the 4 states. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A whole lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
Thank you for joining us at KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.